Hey, good morning out there. Sorry, I'm running a little bit behind, clicking a couple buttons. There we go. All right. Good morning, everybody. Hey, Tammy, JW. Hey, Gold, Fred, Daryl, Chip, Joe, Sunny. Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday, June 5th, 2025. Let's not do that. Let's do this. Sorry. Get myself a little late coming to the party and it messes me up. All righty. Hey, let's get started here. Again, good morning to everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I absolutely appreciate it. Okay. Let's see here. I want to take a look at this chart. Nope. This chart. This chart right here. Okay. Now, you guys all know that I use TC2000. There's other great programs out there. I'm not, anyway, going down the wrong path here. I don't mean to go down that path. What I want to show you here is the importance of just following the trend, and whatever indicators you use. I had the privilege of talking to someone last night over the phone, and it was great conversation, by the way. I was just, the indicators they use, and they use MACD and RSI, and all great. Now I don't particularly use them, but that doesn't mean that they're not good for you, they're great for this other person. But anyway, at the end, we came to the same conclusion. So you can get there, different ways. And bottom line, follow the trend, follow whatever indicators. And I follow this T2123. And as long as we are bullish here, and as long as we're bullish in the trend, and as long as, and this is something I've kind of changed to, okay, this is relatively recent. This window over here used to be the T21, 22, 23, 15 minute. And I've decided, I don't really need to see the 15 minute. And if I do, I could just simply click on this little 15 minute and I can see it. And the hourly is where I mostly stay anyway. So I put VXX up here just to see and follow if there is some fear coming into the market. So, that's what I'm looking at right there. And, if we take all this and put it together, well, I think I should have done that. I think you've got a good plan. Now, like I say, you could use a different indicator, whatever you might use. But when you have the whole market moving up and your indicators saying you're bullish, and by the way, this whole conversation could be switched to bearish as well. If the trend is down, like this right here, if the trend is down, we'll come over here and look at your indicators. Are they all saying the trend is down? So whichever direction the trend is, if you're getting multiple indicators saying that, yeah, the trend is up, or the trend is the trend, it's working, don't argue with it, don't fight it. The person I talked with last night, they've had trouble this past month because of tariff concerns and concerns about this, concerns about the other thing. And the truth is, the chart is your best friend. We all have opinions, and everybody has one, and it doesn't mean that we could argue till we're blue in the face about somebody's opinion, but when it comes to trading, check all that at the door and just follow the chart. And you just can't argue with what the trend is doing. And once you're able to let go of your gut feeling, or somebody else's opinion, and just follow the chart, follow what your tools are telling you to do, then it really opens the door for better trading. So I just wanted to mention that because it was such a great conversation last night, about an hour long, and just like I say, just a great conversation. So, but anyway, I wanted to share that. Bottom line, just simply follow the chart, follow the trend. Okay. So what let's take a look at the trend. Here's the SPY. The SPY is absolutely bullish. Look, when we start looking at price is like fine tuning the trend, and price can be all over the place. You know, um, you can have, bearish candles. You could have a pullback, but the trend is still the trend. And when we pull too far away from the trend, well, what happens? We pull back to the trend, don't we? So look right there. We got too far from the trend and we pulled back. The trend is working. The T line is one of my trends. That's the 8 EMA. And of course, the green dots, trend indicator, that's my trend. So here we are working on the SPY right now. I don't think we're too far away from the trend indicator. I don't think we're too far away from the T line there. I think it's still going good. Now, by the end of the day, could this happen? Of course it could. But I don't worry about that. If I did, man, I'll tell you what, I'd be a drinking fool if I worried about that every morning. Oh my God, at the end of the day, what's going to happen? Sorry, I'm starting to get off of my tangent again. The market is bullish. Look at the Qs, bullish. Diamonds, bullish. IWM, bullish. All bullish. Why is it bullish? Who cares why it's bullish? Let's just trade some charts and make some money. So let's take a look at plug. Oh, I want to mention something here. Not plug, play. Sorry, can't read my own handwriting. Play. Hey, I want to mention something here. I learned something last night, and thank you if the person is here or can hear me on our, because we're broadcasting here. On our social media, this not necessarily for YouTube, but for our Facebook group and our X group, I learned something that there were a lot of people there that were not getting some charts that I post out in social media. Well, come to find out, you have to turn on your notifications for our group. So it was becoming a little disappointing to me. I mean, to the point where I'm about to close and say screw it to social media because it's a pain in the ass. But it helps people out, and that's what I want to do. But come to find out, there were lots and lots of people that weren't getting charts I post. Turn your notifications on for the group, okay? You don't have to turn them on for every Tom, Dick, and Harry that's roaming social media. Just turn it on for our group. This goes for X and for Facebook, okay? YouTubers, if you subscribe and click that bell, you'll be alerted every time we put a YouTube video out, okay? All right, let's get down to business here. Take a look at play. I think play has a nice move. I'm going to be looking at about 23% here, up to the 200 period moving average or the 50% retracement right there. And everything lines up. If we come to this chart, this chart, doesn't everything line up just like we talked about? Here we're bullish, there we're bearish, and that's what we want for VXX. And take a look at the trend. Isn't that trend working? That's what we want. So now what we want to do is, let me just move that down. I might just stay here. Now what we want to do is be smart about our entries. Now, Doug did a fantastic class yesterday. And by the way, everyone that was at the class, 2 thumbs up to you. Doug is an amazing teacher, and it was a fantastic class. And it was about the 3-8 trap, and that's one of the best entries I can think of. Over the years of trading, everybody looks for that little secret golden pot of gold, that secret indicator. The 3-8 trap, I think, is about the closest thing to it, where you wait for that pullback, wait for the chart to come back to you. It gives you a really good entry, and then it's a good risk reward because you're buying near something, meaning the T line, and then below that would maybe indicate, oh, hey, maybe I don't want to be in this stock. So you set your stop. So anyway, wait for a smart entry being something near that support, or in that trap area creates that kind of thing. Not just blindly 3-8 trap. There's a little more to it, but that's for play. Back down in this area would be terrific. Right where it is right now, I think, is a good place. I'm looking for a move up here. So we're talking what, 20, maybe 21% on play. And that's the stock. And the option, that's a 40% trade on the option. Let's talk Walmart. I love Walmart. It might be back in the game here. See how Walmart has, let's see here, rallied up, and now see how it's pulled back. So what I'm looking for is a reason to buy it. And the reason could be this morning right here, and the reason could be on a breakout. There's no, there's going to be some people buying it. It's like right now, it's being bought pre-market. You can see that by that candle. So, and that's what I would call a near perfect 3-8 trap. So Walmart just might be back in the game here. And if you've been holding it, congratulations. NEM, I noticed, is moving up. And there's our 50% retracement. And that puts us back up there. The next move up is going to be in this 64 area right there. How about some SLV? Look at SLV. So those that have been holding it, way to go. Right there. Nice 3-8 trap in there. ARKK. Let me bring that. You know what? I could bring this down. There we go. Let's do that. So ARKK, I'm looking for a target up here around 69.60. That gives us a, I don't know, 21% move on ARKK. That's the stock. Buying options puts you in that 40% game, okay? So take a look at ARKK here. This is something I like. Look at that. Nice consolidation right here. Look how the trend is bullish. Green, green, green. You had one little red day here. Don't let that, don't let that wind you up too much. The trend is bullish. So now what we're doing is we're looking for a smart entry. Could we be headed there? We could be. Let's do this. We start to break out right in there. You could have a nice little entry on ARKK. And right where we are, I think might be a nice entry on that. Take a look at B. Look at B. Up, consolidate. 3-8 trap or 3-8 trap breakout on this one here is what we're doing. Look at that. I'm going to go to a weekly chart. There we go. Look at that weekly chart. Building a nice little bottom in here. The upside potential, I think, is fantastic on this. Could be a $42 stock up here. So keep your eyes on B. Coin. Look at coin here. Look how coin is setting up. See how we move up like this? See, we pop up and then we move down. Unfortunately, stocks don't move in straight lines. They move up, they chop around. But here we are back down to that supporting area. Here we're back down to that entry area right there. That entry area. 296, 323 for a target up here. And Google. Let's look at Google. So take a look at Google here. It's starting to move up. One of my, we'll call it scans or likes in a chart is when the trend is the trend, and then price pulls back below the T line and then comes back above the T line. That's one of the things that I like to see in a chart. I like to buy it in this area, well, in this area here, right there. So down, and we're holding our trendicator trend. So that becomes a buy. There's the 50% retracement, and then there's two little target areas right there. A 184, 192. For those that Google is too expensive, GGLL. I already own this in the larger account. I'm looking to buy it in my smaller account as well. But look at GGLL, 33 bucks instead of, I don't know, whatever it was on Google. But this is a great way to play it. And up there, the 50% retracement, what do we have here? 14, 15% up there. So anyway, there's some great chart setups out there. The market remains bullish. Everything continues to work. And the neat thing about if the bears come in, you'll see it in the chart. And, thinking that you have to time it perfectly, well, bears are coming in. Well, good luck with that. All right. And when you master it, you let me know. You let me know. You will be the king of trading or queen of trading. We want to wait for those candlesticks, because you can't time it that tight. You can't say, hey, today's day, you know what? At 2 p.m. today, Eastern time, this market is going to tank. Good luck with that. Like I say, good luck. Let's just follow price. It will tell you when it's time to maybe switch directions, or it'll tell you when it's time to just sit in your chair and let's just wait a minute. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for listening. Hey, Roasted, how are you? ATI, check out ATI. Let's do that. Here, let me go to this chart. There we go. ATR. Here we've pulled back. I wouldn't be too worried about that necessarily. You've got a bullish trend. It's a great look there. It's a great looking chart. Now just wait for that entry in there, okay? For anybody that likes that chart, you can't argue with the trend. Absolutely beautiful. So now it's just a matter of wait for that entry in there. Thank you very much. I think I'll flag that one. Thanks, Roasted. Hey, Daryl. AAL, yeah. Look at that. Here, let's get rid of this. We don't need this. So let me do this here. Let's see, change this to red. Look at that downtrend right there. I love the trendicator here. Let's make that green. Look at that trend. And by the way, when I put the trend on here, I come down here close to where it goes from red to green. I put it under that, and then I come up to wherever the green is here. I don't care about all this in the middle. That's what we're looking for. And if the bears come in, well, it'll crack that dot or the next dot will turn red. Well, you know that, oops, we have a little problem here. But in the meantime, what do we have? We've got a nice chart. Up, pull back right to what we're going to call trend. We've been flattening out right here. Look at that flattening out, kind of a tight consolidation area, a squeeze right through here. So this all becomes a buy zone, or that breakout becomes a buy zone. Depends on who you are, when you catch it, what is it you like, those sort of things. So maybe over yesterday's candle, maybe just over the T line, that becomes a buy zone. 50% retracement, that puts us near that 200 period moving average. This is a rounded bottom breakout, and that gives us about, 10, 11% gain on this. Nice chart. Oh, let's see. Hey, good morning, Irina. How are you? Hey, good morning, Raul. Hello, S. Good morning. CRL. Here's another rounded bottom breakout. Once again, look at that downtrend. Look at that uptrend. And here we are right near the trend. We pop up. Let me change that to blue. Here we pop up and we're having an inside day. This makes this entry zone right there. Nice. Targets for the rounded bottom breakout are always going to be the dotted deuce, 200 period moving average, and then go in there and look for some price action that might cause you a little grief. You know, we might put a little line right there. And that's what I see targets on CRL. You break out of that 200, then you have a completely different game. Hey, good morning, Roger. Good morning over here to the YouTube and X folks. Appreciate you all being here. Hey, Coach. Hey, Stefan. Hydro. How are you? Vernon, good morning. CHPT. You asked about this one yesterday. CHGT long. Nope. CHPT. CHPT. I would say, you know, I'm going to say it's turning bullish. So, yes. So here we have a downtrend. There's our uptrend. So it's just a matter of making that smart entry. Where do you want to enter this trade? Right in here on a breakout. Why don't you tell me if you're buying it? Okay. What else do we have? Anyone else? I could certainly find some more if we need to. Take a look at Nike. Oh, Nike, there it is. Take a look at Nike. Look how that trend has changed. See how we've gone from red to green? Trend has changed. Targets, beautiful targets. I think on this one, I want to do this. Here we go. So there's the 50% retracement. You know, actually, you could take any one of these highs. You know what? Actually, I am. Yeah, you can take any one of these highs. We're going to go right here, though. Yeah. You want to take something that's reasonable. You don't want to be ridiculous. Unless that's your trading game. And I don't mean that you have a ridiculous trading game. But if you want to buy Nike long term, it doesn't matter what lines you put on it if you're going to buy it long term. I'm not a long-term trader. I'm more of a swing trader, and that is more in line with what I would do. So there's the 50% retracement up here at 87.80. There's clearly areas that we need to get through, and the first area that I'm going to look at is that line right there, and I think I will put another line in the middle, though, about right there. So right now, I'll be looking for 85.70, close to that, as a target area. 67, 68, we have to clear that before we can go any higher. And then you've got the 200 period moving average sitting up here. Actually, I'm going to just put it right there. That fills that gap. We accomplished that on Nike. Then we can look at something else, okay? Look for bigger numbers here. Hey, JW, good morning. Amazon. Yeah, Amazon is rocking, isn't it? So here's Amazon. I've already got it marked up. We went to the 50% retracement, and now that becomes a supporting area over that 200 period moving average. Where there's a target right there. Looks like we're going to get that today. And then the next target up here around 221.80. Amazon looks pretty good, doesn't it? Hey, Roasted, MU rocking. MU's headed to that 50% retracement. There we go, right there. We break out of the 50% retracement, then that becomes support, not a resistance or targets or a target. And then we can look at that next move up, and that's going to be around 120. So it's, you know, you take a look at MU, and there's an awful lot of people right now watching, looking at this, or they're going to watch the replay of this, and they're going to think, oh, I've missed MU, and they're not going to look at it again. That is, I think, the wrong thing to do. Anytime you look at a chart and you utter those words, or you think it, oh, darn it, I missed it, that's the chart you want on your watch list. That just might be the best chart. And what you're going to do is you're going to wait for it to pull back and set up. I mean, if you look at MU, look at this. Let me get let's do this. We'll do this. So when it rallied up here, did you miss it? No. Wait for the pullback. When it rallied up here, did you miss it? No. Wait for the pullback. There you go. Did you miss this chart? No. Wait for the pullback is what you're waiting on. Remember, look at your trend. Follow your trend. And the trend says, take a look at MU. Oh, yeah. Ed's pointing out that we have member e-learning Thursday at noon. Is that today? Do not forget, we have member e-learning in the combo room at noon Eastern today. I guess it's today. Oh, my. All right. So it starts at noon today, everyone. All members of Hit Run Candlesticks, Right Way Options, or BYOB, includes trial folks. So, man, I might be in trouble. Let's take a look at AVPT. Thanks, Daryl. Look at AVPT. Look at the trend, right? Let's do this. There's your trend. Is it setting up? Yeah. 3-8 trap right there. Let's look at the weekly on this. Look at that weekly chart. Look how we rallied up and pulled back. Did you miss that? No. Wait for the pullback. Let's flag that. Thank you very much. Hey, Coach, PYPL. I'm bullish on that one. Yeah, PYPL. I think that's a great looking chart. I think it's set to move higher. Here we've had a nice run. Here, we'll put the trend up here like that. There's the trend. And see how we've, there we go. And we've pulled back. Well, now we're starting up again. Because we're at the dotted deuce and we're near that 200, I think there's very likely a pullback in the near future. That could be a good entry. I think right now is a good entry. We're in that 3-8 trap area. Right now we're kind of an inside day on yesterday's candle. But PYPL, I think, looks fantastic. I love it. Hey, Rickster. Yeah, metals are moving up today, looks like. GLD, that's still holding in there. And then SLB, look at that thing. And NEM is doing it too. Yeah. Careful not to chase is the only thing, okay? Roasted, you're holding DocuSign, and it has earnings tonight. Now look at DocuSign. Looking great. And look at the entries on this. See how we rallied up? See how the trend went from red to green? Entry area. Here we rallied up. We pulled back. Entry area. Anyway, pretty nice. Hey, I better get going here. I want to say thank you to everybody. I appreciate you being here. And remember, if you ever want to look at charts or be alerted on charts on our social media, make sure you turn on that notifications thing, and would appreciate it. And thanks for all the comments and the conversation we've had in Facebook the last couple of days. So if anybody's listening that's been part of that, thank you so very much, okay? Hey, we'll see members at the bottom about 15 minutes when the market opens up, okay? You guys all take care. Thank you.